Good morning and welcome to the Daria Reactions. I am Fred. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. For those that are new here, what this is essentially a reaction, commentary, and discussion series, like virtually 98% of the other YouTube channels. But unlike everybody else, I am actually admitting to re-watching the episodes of Daria. I was in high school when the series was first airing on MTV. Matter of fact, the start of season two uh, lines up perfectly with the back end of my freshman year of high school. So it's like 1998, because how high. If you're overseas, the American calendar system, school years start in September, typically end in June. So 97, 98 is my freshman year. 98, 99 is my sophomore year. 99, 2000 is my junior year. 2000 and 2001 is my senior year. So we kind of going through individual phases here. And funny thing about Daria, when it was airing, the series was often split into two halves. You had a first half that aired in like late winter and into the spring, and then the second half would be in the fall, would basically be in like late summer into the fall, uh, give or take. It was kind of unique, but then again, for a lot of cable shows, that was basically the lineup of how they split things up a bit there. At least that's my memory of it. I could be wrong. I'm 41 years old. You think I'm going to remember everything perfectly? No, as is the case when I talk about what I remember about an actual episode before we dive into it. And the premiere episode of season 2 is Arts in Crass. Now, arguably one of the, again, another episode you could put up there as one of the more iconic episodes in terms of things that people would actually remember. Arts in Crass is the again, it's the premiere episode, obviously. From what I remember of the actual plot line, there is some sort of art festival promoting like the high school life at Lawndale High. Daria and Jane come up with a poster and a message related to the the questionable ways or methods that the teenage girls had to uh, put themselves through to present like an image of beauty. Mr. O'Neill does not like the message Daria came up with and writes something that's much more positive and uplifting. Daria and Jane go and sabotage the poster. Principal Lee punishes them for it. And then Helen, Daria's mother, gets involved, wanting to basically defend Daria's and Jane's rights as the actual creators of the actual content that was being stolen by the school, and with their image, with their intent and everything changed. Well, based on what the school wanted versus what what Daria and Jane wanted for their poster to be. So those, I think I remember a lot of that perfectly. I'm not 100% sure. I may have gotten a little bit of the details wrong there, but that's par for the course, which is something I've been saying a lot lately. But oh well. And if you're questioning if these are new glasses, no, this is my alternate pair of glasses. I switch them out, and depending on the time of year. Anyway, so how we also do this? You're not going to hear any direct audio from the episode itself that's being captured, but you might hear residual audio coming from my speakers being picked up by my microphone. We do the long form watch and reaction here. So you get the display capture, and I turn the composite, the blur, heavy blur, on and off periodically, because it's how I do. It also helps for those of you who want to watch along and see, and also I'm using the digital version of the episode, which does not have any of the licensed music that I believe was on the DVDs. that do not work on my computer's DVD player for whatever reason. And believe me, I have continued to try to use them. So there is that in terms of anybody's wondering, well, it's like that wasn't the music from the episode. You were watching the one where the music was taken out. Yes, I know, I'm aware. Licensing issues with music is a bitch, and I'm speaking on that from experience here. So with that said, let's get into it. Jake is sobbing. Jake, what did you do now? Jake, what happened? Quinn, weren't you just saying you were there for your father? What happened? Oh, he lost a client. Cigars for pets? Yeah, it's like... That's a kind of weird thing. What type of person would come up with something like cigars for pets? And I can immediately think of a few people that actually would. There's like Matt Gaetz is somebody who will come up with something with like that. And yes, I know as I was talking over that, but Daria says saying Jake can help with the chores, but anyway. Mr. Foe is back. Principal Lee and Mr. O'Neill with some interesting news. Okay, I was wrong. It was a art contest and it's statewide. Okay, I thought it was like something just fixated on Longdale High. What was high school like to be life at the dawn of the millennium? Hell. Uh, 3, 4, walk out the front door. Yeah. Principal Lee urging the students to take advantage of an opportunity, as in it's freaking mandatory. Her poster was going to be about cheerleading? Wait, wait, I must have missed what I missed what Kevin said there. Oh, Mr. Foe is the one who ropes Jane into it. Wow, Mr. Foe is laying it on thick. So that makes me wonder, did Principal Lee speak to Mr. Foe beforehand to try and to make sure Jane participates? No. Nobody said the message had to be positive. I'm going to do something that really represents student life. Yes. It tells the truth about how much it can suck. Yes. It blows away this storybook fantasy about how great it is to be young. Yes. And you're going to help. No, she's not. Neo-national skinheads next on the Six Sad World. Well, that was about your typical episode of the Jerry Springer Show in 1998. Daria, you're always telling the world what you want to say. Why did she order a steak? She wants to be burned at it. I forgot to turn off some of the composite blurs at this point. No, I now want pizza, which is sad to think because I'm recording this at like 6:30 in the morning. And they're too young for alcohol. Oh boy. Oh, that. And it's a good thing Daria mostly walks everywhere. Oh, so that's how they get the idea for the poster. Is like Daria felt like he was going to throw up. Like bulimia, which was back in the day a major issue. It's a personal message statement for Upchuck. He Upchuck it can be very successful. Yeah, how do you get the message? And this is again Brittany thinking on the fly and showing that she is rather smart. Yeah, she knows she's the winner. Mrs. Defoe again looking at the superficial of the superficiality of the poster image. Yeah, it's not meant to be funny. It's a commentary piece. Daria, help out. They can be dangerous. But I have. Welcome to real life here. Yes, it's like the graphic and unappealing language is perfect. It's an original way that doesn't conform to the ideals of Mr. Foe or the school of or Lawndale High. They changed the tune to the bumper. It's slightly different. And of course, Mr. Neil and Principal Lee get involved. It's a perfect perspective. Yeah, and again, the standards and things of the school principal putting like the school and stuff ahead of the students is just like, yeah. Yeah, it's like emphasis that the beauty is matter, that there's no sacrifice and there's no issues of it. So Daria has right. It will become a dishonest message because it's conforming to somebody else's viewpoint. Yes, it is wrong for people to take pride in the way they look. Yeah, and of course, Principal Lee going out of her way to try and force the issue. And the first instance of Jane's mom, like, who hey, Trent's room, rather perfect. Yeah, keep practicing, Mr. O'Neill. You'll get it right. Hello, Mrs. Morgenlofer. I wonder how often they have reused this one shot at Helen's office. No, it's not about Quinn. It's the other daughter. I remember that line. Yeah, I was right. That was the Magenhofer. Yeah, it's like he had the paper right in front of him, and he misread it. No, Daria was serious about that. Torture is much more effective than capital punishment. He's stressing. He's totally stressed. No, now that I think about it, does Mr. O'Neill have any interactions with Jake in the series? I say that, and he's about to call him. That would answer my question. That yes, Jake has interactions with Mr. O'Neill. Good goodness, there's like it's slime on that bowl. Oh right, and Jake has it out for Mr. O'Neill. It's like feels like it was a prank call. Okay. Yes. It's like, no, don't put down the macaroni. Yeah, it's not macaroni. It's pasta alla pesto or something of that sort. Yeah. They do exist. Like Jake is just not having it. He wants praise for his cooking. He's talking about his food. Jake has it right. Jake has it right. It's an image. Holy shit, Helen! Come on, man. No, but Jake has it right. If it's promoting like the typical image of student life, it's a bad poster. But it's Daria and Jane's viewpoint of student life. That's the whole point of the damn poster. And Jake has it right. Probably one of the very few times Jake has some like great insight into the situation at hand, because he's typically like out of the loop for the most part. You know, there is some coloring issues with this episode. It's like some of the skin tones, depending on the shot, looks a bit weird. Bullshit, Mr. O'Neill. She makes a good point. Yeah, it's a group poster. It's like Brittany has at least come up with two posters. Like, break out the lipstick. I mean, again, if anything, at least in the background, you have Brittany being creative, being thinking. She may not complete the image at the first time, but her attention is there. Yeah, never quote Mary Poppins. Mr. O'Neill, there's no way in hell you would capture the image of what their meaning. Be thinner. She eats for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Clearly, it is a joke because that is not the image at all, the message at all. Yeah, but no, at least back then, for sure, it's like, at least some of the more, I can think of some of the more bitchy members of the female class of people that I attended high school with, they were pushing themselves in terms of being basically bulimic. And this is where Principal Lee steps over the line. Yep. And this is where Jane and Daria plot to destroy or sabotage their own poster. Oh. Yeah, like Mr. O'Neill wouldn't do a damn thing, even if he did have a more like stronger personality. Yes, her mom. Actually, no. Helen had nothing to do with Daria getting involved in the poster contest. Jane convinced her to be involved with it. Oh, and it's Jane's idea to sabotage the poster. Hey, what? Wait, Trent's car has 3 front seats. I remember there being. Wasn't there a Hyundai about 20 years ago that had like 3 front seats and they had like this image, promotional image was like that made it look like it was like the center on the center of the dash. It looked like this, like a child's head was cut off and mounted on it. And I have a vague recollection of that. Yeah, what did? Yes, they're innocently observing. Jody, don't ask what they're doing. Yep, she just walks away. Yeah, perfect. Inspired by Britney. Yes, yes, they did. But it's not school property. Yeah, Mrs. Lane is busy. The Sisters of Mercy. Bet they're like they're a 9 Inch Nails cover band. And look, it's the same shot from earlier in the episode. And this, and again, we get to see Helen's gonna lay down the freaking law. Yeah, Principal Lee, tell her exactly what happened. Yeah, at least Principal Lee is dumb enough to admit that they objected to it. Against the changing the poster. Yeah. Yeah, voluntary under, again, Principal Lee standard is mandatory. There will. That's exactly what you said, Principal Lee. Yeah, and Helen coming through for Daria yet again. Yeah, this entire plot would make a great great TV episode. Brittany won. All right, sweet. Alrighty. Yeah. So obviously a great episode there with a. Wow, this episode, if you count like the intro and outro credits, has a runtime of just 21 minutes. So it's an incredibly short episode, but a lot of it is deeply impacted and condensed to a very large degree. Obviously, things that stand out to it is the entire plot point of the poster and the message that's being conveyed, which again is like thinking back, that is an issue there. And when you think about it, even these days, think about how many influencers on like TikTok and Instagram in particular are like stretching like their bodies and products and things of that sort. And not just women, but also men and so forth. So a lot of those issues from back then are still around today, although I don't think the bulimia and forced vomiting is as commonplace now as it was back then. But I think, but of course, between then and now, you had a lot more dietary supplements and things of that sort hitting the market. I mean, think about like how GNC, the General Nutrition stores, basically exploded in terms of popularity and national recognition. Like again, I'm thinking back to the early 2000s here, and where you would see commercials and they would have stores not just in malls but also like standalone shops in various places. I could think of because there's like five malls in a fairly short distance area here in here in South Jersey, and also if I counting also in Philadelphia, where there was a general nutrition store, and not to mention like smaller stores and kind of like in like strip mall locations. So it's like not to mention just like the standard over the counter stuff that you could get at your CVS or Rite Aids. Um, and again, thinking back, there wasn't really like many Walgreens in my area way back when. But nowadays, it would be more of a Walgreens. You could probably get a lot of that stuff at. Um, I really liked the little subplot line with Brittany, where she is like, okay, Brittany is being creative. She comes up with the messages for her poster. Don't do drugs and alcohol. Don't join a gang. But she has to essentially, but she creates like like the image, but she doesn't include like the negative output that says like to discourage people from it on both of her initial drawings. Um, I want to also double back to Miss Defoe and the fact that she was basically coerced Jane into uh taking part in the art contest, and how Jane ropes Daria into it as well. And so that kind of leads uh to that one plot point where Daria says is like, oh, it's like my mother convinced me, is like basically forced me to participate. But no, it's like Daria basically participated voluntarily as Jane's collaborator. Jake having a great moment there during the dinner scene. Like he's talking about his pasta and so forth. At least one credited for his pasta, where he made a major bowl of. And he does make a point there that like penny pasta with sauce and stuff, that it gets funky within a day or two if you make a ton of it with like the sauce and all the ingredients. It's like but he does make the good point. Is like, okay, what was the intent of the poster? I was like, okay, if it was meant to be, promote, if the intention was for it to promote like the positive things of student life at the dawn of the millennium, what Daria and Jane did what was like a bad poster. But if it was to promote what Daria and Jane thought of student life at the dawn of the millennium, then it's a very good poster because it was their initial intention. Like tampering with the intent of the artist is always like a very weird and questionable thing that was, again, very unfortunately very common throughout history. And matter of fact, you see that a lot. And then going into a strong, not so much a strong version of it, or something that at least comes to mind, where like the intent of the content creator gets manipulated in a way that where the original creator wants nothing to do with it. There was a Star Trek novel called Probe. It was like a follow-up or a continuation of the issues with the Probe from Star Trek 4. But the writer of the novel didn't like how the publishers and those folks who had the creative oversight basically changed the entire story around to fit like a different narrative, and so they basically disowned it and ended up releasing like their own like their own version of it, like for free. It was like a major thing, at least among Star Trek fans back in the 90s. And I think I do I still have my the copy of that? Oh, I do. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do have a copy of it. It's up on that top shelf there. But I digress here. And that's because I'm padding this out for a 30-minute runtime. It's just like, it's how I do. We discuss the episodes and stuff as we roll along here. Quinn actually has nothing to do in this episode other than the initial joke that her personal life is much more busy than her father's. And that's it, really. And I know I missed a joke over what Kevin said to Brittany to piss her off at the very start of it. Is like when Daria sarcastically says that, oh, she's going to do a poster about cheerleading, which is what Quinn, assuming not Quinn, what Brittany was going to do. Boy, I just totally tripped over those rather random thoughts. And again, stretching back to Brittany again, this is an episode that shows that Brittany is smart, that she is creative. Like if she's focused, she can be right up there with Jody, Daria, and Jane in terms of intelligence. Like she has that potential. She just focuses more on the superficial and being a cheerleader. So with that said, we'll wrap this up here. And we'll see y'all in the next week. As I know for a fact here, my alarm is about to go off because it's 7 a.m. at the time I am finishing recording this. Yeah, so like I literally saw the clock as it changed to 7 a.m. I was like, yeah, let me grab my phone real quick. One would think I would disable the phone alarms, but again, I don't. I do everything in one take, so it's a genuine reaction, and also gives you an idea of what my life is like if I'm waking up early to do to record videos like this. Anyway, as I was about to say, like, comment, subscribe if you want to, but more importantly, tighten your friendship bracelet. Stay safe. Have a great day, and we are in the summertime. We're marching towards summer, so be sure to remain properly hydrated and take care of yourselves. Again, I want to stress the be safe part, especially for those who are in the American Southwest. I have a lot of friends out that way, and it's like the heat out there is particularly brutal. A good friend of mine says like that it got up to like 111 degrees recently in Las Vegas. So again, stay safe, stay hydrated, stay cool, take care of yourselves, especially in your areas that with extreme heat. All right, heat stroke and heat related stuff. That's no joke, and I'm speaking from experience there. So with that, we'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.